Hey y'all, it's your girl Shay, and I am back with another video. This is coming straight from the throne room because listen, y'all, God has God has had this word in my spirit stirring all this morning since I was up and I took a shower. Before I went and ran errands, before I did anything, and I just had to let it sit, but as the day is going and going, God is just like, you need to go release that word. So, out of obedience, here we are. The title of this video is Believe God. Okay? It sounds so simple. It's 2 words, but it's not that easy. Believing God, like, sometimes you're going to have to believe God at just His word. We have to understand the strength that there is when God says a thing and when He speaks. And even just thinking as to like when He heals you, or when He healed people in the Bible, like God would He would speak a word sometimes, and send that forth, and people would be healed. He told the man, he said, just get up, like, you would have to just believe Him and trust Him that when He says to get up and to do it, to do a thing that you haven't been able or capable of doing in so long, that it's going to work out this time because it came from God. Because it wasn't you telling yourself to do it, because even if you try, you wouldn't be able to. So you're going to have to believe God in this season. Like, there are so many things that He's orchestrating, that He's doing. And sometimes we forget, like, sometimes, and I'm speaking for myself too, sometimes I forget, like, God is really doing a lot of things behind the scenes. This week I've even been telling my friends, I'm like, yo, a lot of things are really spiritual. Your healing is spiritual. It's not just physical with your body. It's very spiritual. You have to, the gut and the mind, the body and the mind, they have to be one, and it's very spiritual. And when there's a lot of things that are just like chaotic and just not making sense and kind of like everywhere or still floating in the air, and you just, you got to believe God. Like, He's going to show you things. He's going to tell you things. He's going to reveal things to you. And it's up to you to believe Him and just believe Him at His word. Like, if God said it, I'm standing on it. The word says when you've done all that you can do, just stand. So I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only person who, and like, y'all, I'm encouraging myself right now. Because I've been, going through some things where I just have to believe God. Like, if God said He's going to work it out, if God has shown me the other side of what I'm going through or what I'm battling or why things have been so difficult, I just got to believe Him. If I am in a season of giving birth spiritually and I don't see the fruit of that baby yet, or I do see fruit but it just don't look like what God showed me, then I got to believe Him. I got to believe Him until it looks like what He said, because God cannot lie. And me knowing who my Father is, me knowing who gave me that word, who planted that seed in me, I'm going to have to believe Him. I'm standing on everything that He told me. I'm standing on everything that He's shown me, the dreams and people. Sometimes when you just get low and that person at your job just so happens to say, oh, you bring light, or oh, your smile brighten my day. Like, sometimes you brightening someone else's day is brightening your day, because they have no idea what you're going through, the battles that you're facing, the wars that you are in the midst of. And so I say all of that to say, y'all, sometimes we just gonna have to believe God. Like, we're just going to have to believe His word. We're going to have to really sit in His presence, and we're really going to have to encourage ourselves. Like, sometimes you have to encourage yourself, and just believe what He's told you. He's not one who can lie. He can do a lot of things, but he can't fail. And so know who you're believing in, know who you're trusting in. And that's why my last video was, speaking on know who you are and know whose you are, because I know who my Father is. And so when he told me that X, Y, and Z is going to happen, I'm believing that it's going to happen because it came from his word. And if he is the word, it's going to happen. He can't lie. He can't fail me. And so I just have to believe. And so if I have to believe, you have to believe. And, I'm going to just end on this note here. Be encouraged. Like, sometimes you're going to have to look in that mirror. Sometimes you're going to have to look in that camera. Sometimes you're going to have to encourage yourself. But believe God, because he's not going to fail you. He hasn't failed you yet. And it's not going to start, because he is the same that he was yesterday. He's the same that he is today. And he's the same that he will be forevermore. And so you just going to have to believe him, baby. You just going to have to trust him. You just going to have to gird yourself up with his truth. And that's the kind of time we on, y'all. Like, just believe him. He ain't going to lie. He ain't going to fail you. So if this video, or if this word, if it did anything for you, y'all, like, y'all know what I'm saying. Like, just like, comment, subscribe. I like to communicate with y'all. God is doing a mighty thing, and he's trusting his children with a lot of things right now, and all he's asking is for you to believe him. So if I'm gonna believe him, I'm gonna need you to do it too. Amen.